Hi and welcome back, I'm Piotr and this is Daily Read, when we try to read something every day and learn something new. Today we are back with Spark. I finally really want to finish that book. As I told you previously, it's really a great book if you want to exercise and you probably maybe need this nudge to push over the edge and actually start moving on a regular basis. This book will get you covered with everything you need to know. Not only you, because for your family and the people throughout different ages and parts of life, I would say, like mothers, sisters, grandmothers, grandfathers, everyone. Stressed out people, anxiety people, people that face depression. There is something for everyone. Seriously. So, sit down, relax, and let me do the talking. And first, let's dig in. The chapter for today is Aging the Wise Way. Okay guys, so for starters, John is actually talking here about his mother, that, as it turns out, almost over 60% of people after around 70 years old, they get a hip injury, and most die within a year or two. His mother actually did have the rehabilitation, did have the surgery, and pretty much everything went fine, but unfortunately she was not as fast walker as she used to be, but pretty much she moved to soap operas, etc, etc. She didn't run along the city, but rather move with a stroller, so there's that. And actually minimum of exercise did have benefits for her mental health, because otherwise it would be a lot worse. And she was preconditioned as an elderly lady for Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So it wasn't like that. He is saying that she knew perfectly well who I was, but she had less and less to say during our conversation. So there's that. So pretty much she was actually able to survive, even the odds were not in her favor, because she was a fast walker. She always did the physical exercise. Like, for example, if you need some groceries, take a walk instead of actually using a car. If you get back from work, maybe if you take the bus, get one station earlier and just simply walk. Those inches we need are everyone around us, and it actually really does help. Additionally, there are some very, very bad statistics. In the 1900s, the average American could expect to live 47 years. Now it's 76. Of course, there is the issue of quality of that life. And of course, the average 76-year-old suffers from at least 3 chronic medical conditions and take 5 prescription medicines. So pretty much it's like, well, this is the average. And if everyone does what everyone does, they will turn out to be average. So maybe this is something for you. Try to think about this. If everyone does this shit and everyone feel like shit, maybe you can do something different. Well, obviously, if you will do drugs, etc., you probably will end up worse, but you will still end up pretty bad. So I would personally take the risk and actually try doing something healthy, or at least change one of the habits to reap some benefits of that in the long run. Obviously, we will not be seeing this right away, but the main issue is that, well, this is how it works, right? You don't get the benefits right now. This will come in the future. And additionally to that, 5 prescription medicines and etc. Pretty much people are overweight. If they are mature enough, they have disease like cancer, they got strokes, and 20% have diabetes, which is actually related to the diet, which we are talking about when I'm highlighting The Pleasure Trap by Alan Goldhammer. And of course, the classical quote from that book is, lifestyle influences the mental hazards. So pretty much your lifestyle and your mental hazards, if there are any, exercise pretty much helps always. Of course, the issue is that people do not have this positive approach towards exercise. Like, if someone wants you to give me 10 and you need to do 10 push-ups, like, fuck off, I don't want to do this. Like, why are you ordering me around, right? Try to think about this like, yes, it's good for me. I know that it's painful in the end, or most people that actually struggle with going to the gym, oh yeah, well, they will laugh at me because I'm a pussy and I cannot even lift 20 lbs or something like that. Well, yes, but at least you were starting somewhere. It's like, congratulations, you actually are trying and you are failing. Most people don't try, and 99% probably don't even go. Okay, maybe a lot more people hits the gym, but just look at your, for example, overweight friends. What is their lifestyle? Are you, for example, can you think that they actually deserve to be overweight? Or not really? Or this is just some magical problems or thick bones, as they say? Usually, no, it's not. Even if you have, for example, a thyroid condition, go to see a fucking doctor, take some hormones, whatever it is, to actually fix your health. And on the other hand, if you, for example, have your better half, that this is also good for them and for you. Like, I would like to keep, I'm trying to be in shape for the other half. For example, if you don't have a reason, find someone or some external argument that actually will push you forward to take care of yourself. Okay, so let's dig further. Yes, and statistically, having diabetes gives you a 65% higher risk of developing dementia and high cholesterol. So pretty much, it still boils down to diet, especially when you mix fats and sugars. The median level activity for the group was walking around 12 hours a week. Okay, this is too much, obviously. This is like huge amounts, right? But what they are saying that actually the benefits are starting to have effects, like visible effects, at around hour and a half every week. So it's pretty much you take a walk 15 minutes per day, and that's it. And the obvious benefit is that don't just walk like a lazy person, just do it with energy. Don't walk, march like soldiers. Just have an idea, have a purpose, and let's walk like a hitchhiker on a trail or something like that. Just try to move your body as much as possible, even when it is only a walk, but still just make it vigorously with energy and a purpose. And there is a very nice quote: getting older is unavoidable, but falling apart is not. About the brain issues and just mental fatigue when you are getting older. If there is a lot of stress and you're, for example, not handling it very well, with age it's a lot harder for your brain cells to maintain their proper functions. The brain can, of course, do a reroutes around the dead patches of those cells that actually are just simply failing, but actually the managing of stress is one of the crucial things you can do. And if not, you actually have to take care of your brain, meaning the BDNF factors and endorphins, norepinephrine, all the hormones we talked about recently. So you can do this pretty much twofold. First, eliminate stress. So if your cell will not be always under bombardment from negative effects, it will be a lot better. On the other hand, you can also increase exercise or introduce exercise in the first place, so the cells will actually benefit from elevated hormones that actually help them to function. So you can help yourself and you can actually get rid of the stressful stuff. Two ways you can actually keep your brain in very good condition, and it of course decreases the amount of mental health brain issues you can be facing in the future. So the exercise pretty much helps you increase your metabolic rate. Like, you just feel everything flowing inside you as it should be, because it should be a very good feeling for you. And as John writes, the people that actually exercises have a lot less impact by age on their mental capabilities, and if the brain isn't actively growing, it's pretty much decreasing in the functions. So to actually have the benefits of being mentally clear in the elderly age, you should be actually focusing on that. Like, for example, chess players. There were a study that actually those guys had very little Alzheimer's disease or dementia because they were actually using the brain as a muscle. There's additionally a sweet spot they called oxidative stress. There is a sweet spot when you are actually getting stressed, your body and of course your cells are getting familiar with this, and in the end they are getting more resistant to it. It's pretty much like KGB agents when they were introducing themselves with a very, very small dose of cyanide. After some time they could actually survive this. So pretty much that's the idea with also stress, but of course chronic stress, this is no good. This is even very small, but chronic stress can devastate you, so you really have to look out for that. And besides that, remember that your body and your head, your brain is pretty much getting stressed because it is good for you. Your brain and your body sends you a signal. We need to think about this. This is a stressful situation. The outcome might not be very good for us. Let's rethink this. Let's pile up our energy so we can act. And well, then we of course have to act accordingly. Usually facing our fears is the best way to go with anything, because getting rid of pretty much stress is fear. More or less, very, very often. Think about that. When you are stressed, I'm for example stressed if I don't know something and I'm fearful of the outcome. But if I face this right out of the bat, even if I'm not prepared, I want to face this, I want to have this already behind me. In my opinion, that helps me. How about you? Leave me a comment in the comment section. What do you think about that? And pretty much that's the idea. Always face your stress. Okay guys, this is enough for today. Thanks for tuning in. Let me do a quick recap of what we did learn today. Okay, so pretty much you should move as much as possible. Don't take a bus to the grocery store or ride a car, just move your ass. The bottom line. Americans lived 100 years ago 47 years, now the average is 76. But the quality of the last years is pretty much no good. Remember, exercise to help your brain not decline and decrease that fast is crucial. The using of your brain like a muscle is also very important. Your lifestyle should be balanced, because it's not usually the levels of hormones that are actually the problem, but the spiking and the fluctuations of those. I mean, obviously one is correlated with another, but you can survive a lot of things, but chronic stuff is bad for you. You can, it's like with voltage, for example. If you get hit by 10,000 kilowatts, you can actually survive this. But if the actually intensity will be a lot higher, it will be a lot more deadly, even when there is little voltage. So this is pretty much with stress the same. Remember to exercise, use your brain, try a healthy diet with less sugar and salt. 1.5 hours walk per day, but don't just walk, do a march like hitchhikers. And it's good to actually have mild stresses in life, because this tells you that you should take care of something, because you will be stressed about this for any reason you can have. And if you will face that fear, because usually this fear, you will be a lot better, you will feel fulfillment, you will be self-satisfied, and pretty much you will feel in the future that yeah, it's not stressful anymore, because I actually know how to handle those issues, and your body will be also prepared for that. So there's that, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to put this in the comment section below, and let's talk about this. Thanks for tuning in, and see you later. Bye for now.